Hey, welcome back. This is Bill with PatioKitsDirect.com. So today we're going to go over probably one of the things that intimidates our customers the most, and that's actually pulling a permit for your patio cover kits. Going over the different solutions that we have for you guys, we're going to go over basically how easy it is once you have a couple documents in place, how it is to pull that permit to get you all the way through, so when you go to build your kit, you're building it correctly. On the back end, when you guys are wanting a permit from our company, our software actually highlights the engineering based on the parameters that you sent in. The size that you sent in, there's some other information like wind speed, maybe some snow loads in your area. Our software is going to be able to handle all that on the back end if you decide to go pull a permit. So as we go through these different steps, it's anything that you see with yellow, it's auto highlighting. That's what the city is actually looking for, is to see if this was accurately highlit to pull the actual permit. So one, we need this packet's 188 pages. We actually dwindle it down with our software down to about 25 to 35 pages, depending the complexity of that patio cover kit. So we have that ready for you. For a small fee, which we actually apply to the kit once you purchase, a small fee up front, just because there's a little bit of work involved, and then that money applies once you actually pull the permit and buy the patio kit from us. In the next step, we're going to show basically a plot layout and the measurements that the city is going to need to move that permit forward. The second part of obtaining your permit is getting a plot plan. A plot plan is basically showing the dimension of the house, the area of property you have, and then where the patio cover is going, okay? So this could be either digital, or sometimes you have to print it out or grab a blank piece of paper and, draw it in yourself. So with that, the city, you'll want three of these, and then two printed out versions of the previous, which is the engineering packet, to be printed out to take into the city, because they're going to put it into the building department. They'll need a copy for on-site if there's a ledger inspection, those type of things. So as we look at this, they're also looking for customer's address, the scope of work, which is basically what style of patio cover that you're putting in, insulated, lattice, or non-insulated, and then how much electrical you're going to be putting into that patio cover as well. That could affect the permit. So if we scroll down a little bit, we're seeing some dimensions. So some really important things. Let's hit the patio cover first. So here's the house, nice square house, and they're going to cover the whole entire house. This particular example is an 18-foot projection, that's total shade, and then moving left to right, 40 feet. So that one gives them the identification of where the patio cover is going to go on the property. Some more measurements they'll need is the post spacing and the overhangs of those posts. So pay attention to that. Try to include any details in that, as it's going to make it easier pass through with the city the more information you give them. Lastly, what they'll want is basically the property lines. In this example, you have a 10-foot offset from the right-hand property line and then the left-hand property line. Most cities are 5 feet. This one in particular is 10 feet, nice big property. And then lastly, we want from the house all the way to the rear property line. So once we've gotten all these different measurements and we've included the electrical layout, this should be a pretty easy, efficient process for you to go pull it at the city. All right, so the next part of this process is actually going to your county or city's website, going to building and safety to look for that application. So every city is going to look a little bit different on their web design, but the button that you're actually looking for is documents and forms. So under documents and forms, you will see where you can print out your building and safety permit application by finding that tab. Go ahead and click on that tab. And in there is basically the document that you're going to want to fill in to basically pull a permit as an owner builder, or if you have hired a contractor to build the kit, you'll have to fill in his information as well. But first, let's focus on owner builder. So you guys will want to put residential. You guys will want to put in the description of the work, basically what we talked about in the previous video, and that's the size, the style, and the electrical that's going in. So you would fill all that out. You would have your project address. And then you kind of keep on, going down that form. But the thing that we're looking for that's most important if you're building it yourself is that owner builder. You want to click yes, okay? You want to be upfront about it. Don't be intimidated about that. It's just the city needs to know that you guys are getting ready to build a kit, which is allowed. So you click on that. You wouldn't click on that if you did hire a contractor, but again, if you're building it yourself, that's what the button you want to click. So as we kind of scroll down, you have to put in some more information. Again, if you're doing it yourself, you do not have to fill in the fields for the contractor. You'd leave that blank. If you did hire a contractor and he wants to pull the permit for you, he would have to fill in that information accordingly. So after you have all this, you're going to want to print it out, take it into your city. There are options to do this as an online submission, but you would have to look for that tab on that website to see if they allow that. Most of our customers print this out and take it into the city. So we've printed out our application. We only need one copy of this, okay? We have our plot plan, which is 3 pages, we recommend. That's what most cities take. So 3 of those, that's an 8x11 standard size. And then lastly, the PDF that we sent you of the engineering packet, the actual size of this packet is 11x17. Most cities are going to want you probably to print this out. You'll have to go to Staples or some printing company to achieve the sizes. Most people don't have that size of a printer in their house. So it's very important to pay attention to the measurements, the quantity that we need the city to have, and then that should pretty much, as we take it down to the city, should suffice. All right, so a lot of customers don't want to dredge into the city. Some people have to work during the week. It's important to go online and see the operation hours of that city. So let's say, you have to work during the week and, it doesn't fall in parameter for you guys to go and pull that permit. So many cities are moving to an online portal, which is so great because it's so efficient. You can go right online, submit it, and get the permit application completed and filled out to get your actual permit. So this city, as an example, if we scroll down, they call it +1, okay? That +1 is the online application. First step, when you're applying for a permit online, you're going to have to log in and register. Pretty self-explanatory stuff. Name, number, address, what you're pulling the permit for. That's going to all be in the next steps, but first you have to log in and register. So after we've done that, we're going to jump over to apply for the permit online. Every city is a little bit different. The format might look a little bit different, but the steps are pretty much the same. Now, every city is a little bit different in the sense, like some might have some corrections. Corrections are kind of normal. Cities love to kind of let you know how knowledgeable they are, but don't worry about that. We can help you get through that if you have any roadblocks in front of you. So we're applying now, and after you've already done your registration, it's already going to know some of the information about your house and parcel number. So as we scroll down a little bit, that will be added. Oh, it's good. Anytime you guys want to, if you don't want to watch my face, they might have some online videos how to do the permit process as well, so pay attention to that. So we're going to go ahead and fill in the address. We're going to add that to the application. So the next action is to add selected. All right, so that's all been filled out, okay? So let's scroll up to the next section. We're going to click next and then see the type. The type is going to be a required field. You always can identify that with a little red asterisk next to it, and then the description underneath it. So 720 square feet for this particular example. What style cover, solid non-insulated, insulated, lattice, or even a combination, and maybe even some of the electrical. So you just want to clue them into basically what you're doing in the back of the house for the patio cover kits. So we click next. Contacts. This is already going to be you because you've registered. If you need to add anybody else, like a wife or a spouse, you can put their name and information in there as well. So let's click next on that one. It's just to have multiple points of contact, just in case you're not there the day that they do the inspection. All right, contacts. We can go ahead and skip through that because we've already gone through that. And then next is all the attachments, the building application. So we'll have that kind of pulled in. So you'd be pulling the PDF off of that, uploading that into that area. The next would be the site plan. We went through that as well. So we grab that, open it, upload it. So we have 1, 2 done. And then lastly is basically the document, the ICC packet or the engineering packet that we have sent over to you. So we'll want to upload that, open it up. So you see all 3 of what the city actually needs has been filled in and is ready to submit. So let's go ahead and click next. All right, so after we've put all the attachments in, we filled out all the information that they need. Wasn't that hard, was it? The last thing that we want to do is submit it to the city. See that button right there? Submit. That's the biggest button to get this thing rolling to get your permit for your patio cover kit. So if we submit that, it's going to take, generally maybe a week or two. They're going to send you probably some automated emails just saying that they received it from us, or from you, I should say. And yeah, once the permit is actually kind of gone through the city's hands, they'll let us know if it has been approved or disapproved. If there is a disapproved section in there, it will kind of basically give an outline of like, oh, you didn't put in the right measurements according to what we're seeing as far as our plot plans in the city. So pretty easy stuff. This is the most efficient way to kind of turn into your application. We do still have the customers that do actually physically go into the city because they just want to know information, as this is the first time that they're doing it. So in the next video, we'll kind of walk you through that. But yes, this is how you submit online.